Hey guys, guess who's back? It's me. It's Isaac. I'm back. I'm recording videos again. So the daily upload schedule doesn't really work for me. I think I might have to switch to weekly because last time I did daily, I was staying up until 6 in the morning trying to record videos and then having to edit it. I don't have an editor. It's all me. Hey guys, welcome back. I'm still up at 1:33 in the morning. I also just got back from work. Same deal as fucking last time. Recording videos late in the night. On top of having to do college and having a job and all that stuff, I don't think that's manageable for me. So I think I'm going to switch to like weekly, maybe every other day. Or maybe just like once whenever I feel like it. I don't know. Really, I'm just going to talk about what I talk about when I talk about it. Fuck. Anyway, I'm able to record now because I graduated. Yay me. I go back to school on the 30th of August. That's when I start my new college. Yay. So that's that. The other thing though is I have a topic. I have a topic to talk about. So like I for the longest time was thinking, man, I'm gonna like run out of topics soon. I might not have enough things to talk about because, there's obviously there's things coming out. I have Mina the Hollower coming out in 12 days by the time we're recording this. That's crazy. I'm excited for Mina the Hollower. It's not like one of my most anticipated games of all time that I never made a video about. So probably gonna make a video about that. I still have Mugenics to talk about. Ultra Kill Layer 8 came out. That was great. Probably talk about that. Got a few anime that's came out recently that I'd talk about. Kagurabachi's getting an anime. Love to talk about that. It's one of my favorite manga. I got a lot to talk about. But if I'm uploading daily, that means I need to have 365 topics per year to talk about. And I'll tell you that I am not interested in 365 things per year. That's impossible. 365 things don't even happen a year that interest me. I can't be like Moist Critical and just like cover whoever got into like a car accident or like Pokemon fans fighting over cards. Not even fans, or scalpers. Don't let the scalpers catch me saying that, except I don't care. You're scalping Pokemon cards. Fuck you. I'm on the 2-minute mark, I can say that. Okay, the topic. I want to talk about, this came out like a day or two ago. I want to talk about, Gameoverse. Yes. Okay. I've been waiting for this one for a long time, and there's a few things that make it really interesting to me. One, I grew up on Newgrounds. I watched Rubber Ross's old animations when he was Rubber Ninja. Watched a lot of Ego Raptor. Game Grumps. I fucked with Game Grumps a ton on YouTube. Watched them a lot. Try to replicate their kind of like style of YouTube where I get a friend and play video games with them. You could probably see, you would be able to see something like that on Comedy Game Quest. Why I unlisted all those videos because I didn't like the videos very much.
Wow, Jimmy, you're very good at this.
You suck. It gets digested. Welcome to biology class. You poop down here.
Hey, where you going?
Yeah, I'll spend these for eggs. I'll spend so many. I need a friend I could bounce off of. Jacob, I know you're watching this. He doesn't want to. I'll get someone else. Anyway, Gameoverse. Yes. So the series originally started like 12, 13 years ago when Ross first animated it with and Gobbles and everything. Originally started that like 13 years ago. I remember watching the original series way back when I was an early internet animation child. I watched that old Zelda animation where there's like the gay purple Link. We all know the one that I'm talking about. I'll just throw like a clip of it on screen. I wonder what Ganon's up to. That's probably the clip I'm going to show. Anyway, yeah, and this is probably just like, what if we mixed every single one of my hyperfixation, everything that I enjoy, into one bullshit TV series, except it's on YouTube through Glitch Productions, which I'm not a glitch glazer. I'm gonna put that out there. I've only really seen Murder Drones, Amazing Digital Circus, and now Gameoverse, because I'm just like that, man. Anyway, I'm watching Gameoverse, and it's a combination of like anime, which I love anime. I made a whole video about talking about Chainsaw Man. And it's like anime in the kind of way that like Ruby was an anime. I love Ruby. It's got really good animation too. The animation's smooth, and I've heard a lot of people say like, oh, it's inconsistent. Sometimes people have shadows, sometimes they don't, and you can see how it switches in the scene, like in between the frames. It just happens. It's so inconsistent. I swear the art style changes like 5 times. That's what a lot of people are saying, and I think it's obviously not a perfect series. It has its own valid criticisms, but I'll get into this later. I feel like the criticisms that are being thrown at it aren't really warranted just yet. I feel like they should save it for maybe when episode 3 comes out, because at that point, assuming every episode's going to be like 30 minutes, we'll have a real understanding of how the story and plot is going to be like written and played out. And obviously Gameoverse has a lot of growing pains to go through, since it is one of Glitch Productions' first fully animated 2D series, and it's written by Newgrounds creators like Ross, and making a full-length series for the first time isn't easy, so it's gotta like grow into that. Anyway, I think, the criticisms thrown at it right now aren't really warranted. And like about the art style, like there's probably a bunch of different animators and storyboards artists working on like the same plays, like we're on the same thing, and that's probably why it looks different, and like the shading being different at some points. I don't know. It's something to really like focus on too much. I think it's just dynamic shading. I'm not going to lie. Another criticism I've seen is that it's really fast paced, and it's just like go, go, go. There's not really any downtime or time to like play up any of the characters' emotions or what goes on very much, which is also, I think, a valid criticism. But it also, like, it's the first episode, and you don't know much about these characters, like backstories, who they are, what they're doing. And you have to like fit that into a 30-minute time frame, so they're really just trying to like throw everything they can at you along with progressing the main story that's happening right now. So I feel like maybe in episode 2 we won't have those kinds of like issues, because it won't have to worry about, oh, this is what this character does, this is who they are as a person, the personality traits, their negative traits, positive traits. Because obviously, like in a lot of pilots, you're really trying to establish the main characters that are going to be there, the main villains, and the dynamics that they have with each other, who they are, what they do. Oh, voice crack. Yuck. What they do. And you can't do all that in the first episode, even though that's like how it's written. So I feel like it could have been written different, but I understand why it happened the way it did. Anyway, I got completely off track for the last like 5 minutes. Wow, it's a lot. Anyway, it's a combination of some of my favorite things: anime, like really good animation, video games. I'm a furry. I'm sure you could guess it by looking at the thumbnail and the profile picture. And the main character is a cat, and her main like home is full of a bunch of cat people. And I'm down bad. I'll get into that, and I'll get into that in a minute. But it's it's just a lot of my favorite things all packed into one big thing. Newgrounds animation, check. Gameoverse humor and like early internet humor, yeah, that's on there. Doesn't really do the Glitch Productions humor, I've realized, which I know Glitch Productions definitely has a distinct form of humor, and we all recognize it when we watch it. This doesn't have it. It just feels like Glitch Productions is like kind of giving them money and like licensing it and just picking up a series that has other people really producing it. Because I know like Glitch Productions has some level of like control in what some series do, and I feel like that's not really here for Gameoverse. And Gameoverse has been in production for about 13 years, if I remember right, because that's when the original pilot came out on Newgrounds forever ago. And I've seen a lot of like people being unreasonably mean about it on the internet, being like, yeah, no wonder why no one picked this up for 13 years. I can see why. Like, come on, man. It's not really, that's not cool. But, I mean, I'm sure, like, there's obviously going to be, like, people who don't like it, and there's going to be people who do like it, because that's how everything is. So, just move on, honestly. Anyway, so the main plot of Gameoverse really is whenever you win, like, you're the main character. You're the main character of the game, and the main goal of the game is to grab a cookie and dip it in some milk. That's what you got to do. So you go on this massive adventure to find cookies, and then you have to find milk. And then once you dip the cookie in the milk, your world is gone. Your world starts getting destroyed from the inside out. Everyone you know starts to die. Everyone around you, gone. Besides you and the main villain, from what I know. So, what Kit's goal is, and Kit Caboodle and Gobbles, their main goal is to like go to these planets and stop the main characters from beating the game. So to be a hero, you have to work with the villain, which is a really cool concept that you could do so much with. And I think a lot of people underestimate how much you can do with that as a plot device. It doesn't have to be just like, oh, this is a Bowser clone and they're trying to like not let they gotta let Bowser win. Like it can be so much more in depth than that. Like, why don't we just let Sephiroth like kill more people and do more bad, and just like, yeah, it's a bad example because in Final Fantasy VII, spoilers, I mean, I know it's like a 30-year-old game, but Sephiroth like summons a meteor and has it like destroy the planet. Like, oh, well, like it happens anyway, but you know, why don't we just let that happen? Or like, why don't we just like stop Cloud in general from being able to go and find Sephiroth and like beat him and like save the planet, stuff like that. Because there's a conflict of morals there. Because like in Final Fantasy VII, you're an eco-terrorist and you're trying to stop these big corporations from sucking up the lifeblood of the planet. Well, if you are the good guy trying to stop the other good guy so the world doesn't get destroyed, then that means you have to let eco-terrorism happen. I mean, you have to stop eco-terrorism, which, like, yeah, it sounds cool, but, like, also you have to let your planet die. So it's, like, a lose-lose situation. Or there's, like, you know, a lot of morality issues with that. Like, let's say the villain is actually just a really bad person, and they have to make sure that they can do it. They can, like, the hero will never win. And even if you, like, get into, like, let's say literally what the Mario case is, and Bowser kidnaps Peach. Peach never gets rescued, because then the entire world will fall apart. So it's a lot more than just, like, what people are letting on to, and they don't see the full capabilities of what this story could really tell. Another thing I'd say I'd really like is the humor. The humor in this series hits so hard. And I've rewatched it about twice now. I'm probably going to do a third rewatch. Obviously, I have to for like editing this video and adding clips and, you know, just like getting screenshots for the thumbnail, stuff like that. The humor hits. One of the, like the line delivery, even when they're not telling a joke, the line delivery and like the facial expressions that they draw the characters with is always so funny. One of my favorite examples of this when I watched it for the first time is when Kit's talking to Flappers about Caboodle and where he could be. Have you seen this like, tiny little urchin with one eye and he's kind of a dick?
Have you seen a little shiny sea urchin around with little legs and arms and a big urchin eye and he's a dick?
Can't say that I have.
Like... That shit is so funny, along with like the facial expression, how deadpan the joke landed. And also like the moment right before that, if you want to talk about facial expressions, when the villains, I totally forget the villains' names, Misinformation and the other dude, the paper, I don't know. They're talking like, we need to find Flappers before they do, and they hear off in the distance while Flappers is talking to, Flappers is talking to Kit and Gobbles, and they ask like, "Oh, what's your name?" And they're like, "Oh, my name's Flappers." Like, and then their faces are drawn all like scribbly, like what Clarence does with Sumo like 3 times in the series, which I've always found really funny. That's hilarious. And I'm like, what? It's humor like that I find really funny. And I also like that I like that Gobbles is a learnosaurus, like in the original. They learn the concept of learning stuff very faster than any other species makes it's such an interesting character. You know, you like grow up so fast once you learn stuff so fast. And I like these like on his little iPad watching some goofy videos, and then the next moment he's, you know, giving the craziest life advice, the craziest comps to Kit of all time. Like, that guy's my goat. I love him. I love all the characters, honestly. I think Caboodle being voiced by Jay Schlatt is very funny. It works for the character. Some people say they see him as Jay Schlatt, and I can see why you'd do that. I'm a very big Jay Schlatt fan myself. But I see him as his own character too, and yeah, it works. He's probably my favorite character in all of Gameoverse right now. I love them all, man. I think they're all funny. I can't wait to see more of them in the next episode, whenever that comes out. I don't care if it takes 6 months. I don't care if it takes a year. I don't care if it takes 2 years. I'll be waiting, and I'm gonna buy all the merch I can. All of it. All my microphone peaked. Oops, my bad. I'm gonna buy all the merch I can. And it's gonna be beautiful and amazing. And buying the merch, I'll be funding the series. And I'll be having like all the pins on my backpack and everything. I never really saw a universe where I saw myself like getting invested in a YouTube animated series as heavily and quickly as I did with this one. And like the most I could say I'm invested in currently would be BFDI, and I wouldn't even call myself a super fan. You know, I don't buy any like merch or anything. This I could really see myself getting into by myself merch. There's just so many jokes I think are funny in Gameoverse. when Capoodle said, "Can you hickory dickory shut the hell up?" I was rolling. That shit fried me.
Do you need help? Maybe a song to help you focus. Do you know Hickory Dickory Dock?
Can you hickory dickory shut the hell up? Unless you can get the text.
It's the definition of my humor, and I mean it. I want to say right now, if you haven't seen Gameoverse, and I know like 5 million of you have. And I know you're probably coming from Gameoverse to this video, or you watch Gameoverse and it just showed up on your For You page. But if for any reason my bum-ass channel shows up on your For You page, go to Glitch Productions channel and watch the first episode. It's like 30 minutes. I think it's the funniest shit ever. It's the combination of everything I've ever liked ever in my life, forever and ever. And you're just supporting indie creators, man. There's nothing wrong with that. Even if you don't like the first episode, you don't have to. As much as I do. I mean, that doesn't mean my opinion is any higher or lower than any of you's. So watch it if you like it. If you like it, if you don't, you don't. But well, I got you there. You guys thought I clickbaited you because I titled the video something stupid like having a crush on Kit. That's what I'm using the last of my time for. I'm wagging my finger, but you guys can't see because I don't got my camera on. Anyway, dude, I have not had a fictional crush this bad since Kit has been in the show. So when Kit was first announced, I could tell it's really conventionally attractive, you know, like male gaze and whatnot. Even though like a woman came up with her design, it's like, you know. And I'm like, I'm gonna wait for the show to come out because it's about personality. It's about the heart, you know. It's about what's inside here. I'm touching my chest, inside here. So obviously I'm not gonna like drool and like goon over a character that I don't know anything about besides them being attractive. And then I watch the show. I get it. All the information starts flooding into my mind. Oh my god. I'm actually, wait, I need to buy every single bit of merch I can of her. So I finished the show and it's like rolling the credits and I'm like, I'm joyful. The credits are amazing. I love the animation. I'm smiling, I'm kicking my feet. I look on the right. Merchandise. You got merchandise of this stuff? I'm looking. Oh, there's so much of freaking. They got stuff of Kit, and they got stuff of Caboodle, and they have stuff of Gobbles, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, wait, I love Kit. Actually, after this episode, I could buy all the Kit merch I want. I could be like a Kit ambassador if I wanted to. So I'm looking, I'm thinking, wow, $25, that's not bad. And I'm adding up the prices of the merch in my head. I'm contemplating, should I buy merchandise or should I not buy merchandise and buy Mina the Hollower when it comes out? And I'm thinking I could probably just, you know, like wait a little bit, but it's 20% off right now and I want to save money. So it's really just like a battle of like, do I or don't I? Do I or don't I? I obviously do. I would love to at least have like a pin or a plushie. I'm going to the dorms too soon. Like, it'd be great to have that. But I do think she's attractive. And I do want to say this though. This is something I need to put out there for you Twitter users. I've been seeing a lot of people go online and call her goonbait. I'm using air quotes, goonbait, which is completely wrong, I think. And I think it shouldn't be normalized because at some point you try to be so progressive, you turn into the far right, and it is so bad. So you see a conventionally attractive character, you think she's hot, yes, but she wasn't made with the intention of the gooning, right? And when you imply that a character or a person is goonbait, that is when you start objectifying that character, and it is especially done with women. Guys, we can't objectify women. What are you talking about? You can't do that. My bad. Like, just because a character is attractive and the personality is attractive does not make a character goon bait. A character is not goon bait because they're attractive. My bad, you want to tickle your pickle, bro. Like, it's like going to the beach. It's like going to the beach and looking around at everyone in their, like, swimsuits and being like, oh, they're goon bait. I don't want to stroke my shit here. No shit. It's not goon bait. These are just people on a beach. It's like when it's like calling Marina from Splatoon goon bait, or Shantae, or the fairies from Rayman. Like, it's just a character design. For one, they did not make the character design with the intent of being goon bait. They made it with the intent of being what video game characters, especially from the early PlayStation and N64 period, looked like. And that only works because that's what they did look like. So you can have, like, the wide hips and chest and, like, the thin waist, because, like, look, my best example of what I could compare Kit to would be Mischief Makers on the N64. The character proportions on the characters in that are absolutely insane, but they work because it's an N64 game. They're working with the hardware, and the shapes are jank as hell, so you can see the character and what they're doing. Anyway, I got a little bit upset because, like, I respect Kit. I do. I like her for her personality. And I do think she's attractive. Would I call her goon bait? No. I think that's a very big misconception that I think people have about Gameoverse that people shouldn't have, because subjectifying them is wrong. But yeah, I mean, she's probably one of my biggest fictional crushes. In recent, I was thinking, man, I haven't had any since, like, childhood, since I was, like, 8 years old. Bang! Kid just showed up out of nowhere. So, yeah, I mean, if you want to donate to my, if you want to donate to my Ko-Fi, all of that will be going to merchandise. I did just graduate. Give me graduation money. Ha ha ha. I'm not sure if I'm gonna buy any until I graduate, like, get my graduation party. I need money. And I'm unemployed right now. Actually, I quit my job at Culver's. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about Gameoverse, because I like the series so far. Excited to see where it goes, and I know posting videos gets it some kind of publicity that I would like to, give. I'd like to give everyone publicity, especially indie creators. So yeah, go watch it if you want to. Leave a comment on their stuff. Leave a comment on my stuff. And yeah, I'll see you guys whenever I upload again. Goodbye.